I just looked at the bloody clothes and found the case that had been unsolved for 20 years. I cut a piece of the dress and lit it on fire. The speed at which it burned and the smell that curled into the air told me immediately this dress was made of tencel. Tencel wasn't commercially available until 1985, so that gave me a starting point. The USA identification number printed on the label helped me narrow it further. The dress must date between 1985 and 2015, the year the manufacturer went out of business. But there's more. Those tiny care symbols on clothing labels, they only started appearing in 1998 to prevent laundry mistakes. So if the dress had those symbols, it must be from 1998 or later. Then I noticed something else. No barcode, no inventory tag, and dresses made in the 2000s always had them. That absence suggested one thing. This dress was made between 1998 and 2000. Now the final piece of the puzzle was in place, and I was certain. I knew the exact year this dress was made. I pulled up the police database. All female gunshot victims from that time window? Only one matched. Raina, murdered on New Year's Eve, 1999. She had multiple injuries. But with no witnesses and no surveillance, the case was closed and buried. When I studied Raina's old photos, something jumped out. A recurring injury pattern near her wrist. It wasn't random. It could be the key to solving the crime. The reason this case was revisited was because an elderly woman called the police, claiming she had witnessed a murder and that the killer was coming for her next. When my partner and I arrived at her house, she denied ever making that call. But her accent, the same as the caller's, gave her away. We checked her phone. No trace of a 911 call. As we turned to leave, I noticed something odd. Burnt, cheap pots, fire marks on the walls, signs of repeated kitchen accidents. Then I saw her medication bottles. They were labeled for migraines, but the actual prescription? Used for treating early onset dementia. Before I could finish piecing it all together, she suddenly shouted for us to leave, immediately. Hours later, she was found dead at the bottom of her stairs. No gunshot wounds. Her rings were still present. So definitely not a robbery. No scratch marks on the stair rails, no signs of struggle. Either she jumped or someone pushed her. But then I noticed it. An unusual stain on her clothing and subtle bruising on her shoulder, consistent with being forced down the steps. Here's the thing. Raina had witnessed a crime years ago, and her dementia made her a fragile vault of dangerous memories. So she wasn't lying when she said she didn't call 911. She just didn't remember calling it. Her memory had been triggered, shaken loose after she stumbled upon the blood-stained dress she'd worn the night her friend Greta was murdered. So I went back through her relationships. Raina had been close to Greta, and Greta had a daughter, Lucy. Lucy, now a grown woman, had been chasing answers about her mother's death for years. When she found out Raina knew more than she had admitted, she tracked her down. In a heated confrontation, Lucy pushed Raina. The case that had been cold for 20 years finally had its truth.